Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates, located here in Tempe, Arizona. In today's video content, we're gonna go over 5 exercises specifically for the sciatica client. First things first, we're gonna go through the sideline series with the strap. So I'm working on a balanced body piece of equipment. So I'm going to go on a blue spring because I want you guys to go on your light spring. So whatever's light spring for you at home, go ahead and get on that. And then we're gonna take our headrest down flat. And I'm also gonna change out into the loop if you guys are there already. Amazing. And I am going to actually use a pillow. So you guys can use a ball underneath your head for the sideline series. I'm gonna use the Pilates body pillow. So I'm gonna place that there. Actually feels really comfortable. And then I'm gonna go ahead and carefully get onto my side, right? So what we're targeting here is strengthening through the glutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and carefully find my top foot into the strap here, okay? And then you guys are gonna go ahead and lie on your side. We wanna go ahead and keep those hips completely stacked and your shoulders stacked. And I'm holding my bottom hand here onto the peg. So I'm gonna scoot myself back a little bit more. But the goal here is that we are targeting this glute series. This is the working leg. So we can extend the leg out straight, and I want you to flex your foot. So think about pulling your toes towards you. And as you bend your knee, really notice that your knee stays in line with your hip and that it's not dropping down or lifting up too high. So ideally we would go for about 10 of these. And the purpose is that we're pushing through our heel, right? Because we want to really activate through the glute and get stronger there. So this is one of the exercises that would be ideal for someone with sciatica. So what I would avoid at this point is anything with the straight leg. So we're not going to bring our leg forward and back in this exercise. Because what happens is that everything's fine here, but when your client or yourself bring your leg forward, this is where you're pulling through the hamstring and you're irritating more of the sciatica. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just continue to bend and extend, and this is ideal. You can even do external rotations. So you can turn those toes up and then we can bend and extend from there. One more interesting cue I wanna tell you guys too is think of leading out from your heel. Does that make sense? Like you're pushing a heavy box away from you so that you can get a little bit deeper into the gluteal muscle here. Okay, so let's go ahead and carefully bring ourselves out of that. And then find your foot bar. We can hang that up. And then the second exercise we're gonna do is basically a stretch. Since we're already here, I'm gonna stay on my blue spring and I'm just gonna go ahead and turn to a supine position on my back. And with that same, I'm gonna show you guys on this side since it's closer to the camera. I'm gonna grab my loop again and I'm gonna place it right here onto my foot on my right arch because I'm working the same glute that we just did previously. So we were strengthening it before. Now we're going to stretch out the piriformis. So you're going to take your left ankle and place it above your right knee and then start to soften your right knee in so that you're getting a nice clear stretch here on that left-hand side. And you're just gonna pause and hold. And you can play with this too. So you can extend your leg out just a tad and then bring it back in and hold it for a breath. And then you can extend it back out and then bring it back in and hold it a little bit further. So each time you're stretching out that piriformis, you might notice that you're able to bring it in a little bit closer to feel the left side completely stretching here. So really good. This is number 2. So let's go to number 3. We're gonna carefully come out of that, find your foot bar. I'm gonna go ahead and take this down. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and sit ourselves back up again. And we're gonna go into what we call scooter. It's a full body integrated exercise here. I'm gonna put this back. And the whole purpose of this exercise is that we're gonna target the glutes. So we're strengthening the glutes out and we're getting some core, right? Lots of core activation here. So we could stay on the light spring and that's totally fine, but I wanna feel something a little bit extra. So I'm gonna take it to a medium spring or in this case, a red spring on balanced body. And I'm gonna go ahead and start by placing my right foot up against the shoulder block so that your knee is just slightly resting on the carriage, okay? We're not gonna stay there though. So I just wanna go ahead and get you guys aligned. You're gonna bring your left foot back so that both knees now are in line with each other, okay? So that's the most important part about this exercise, is having both those knees in line with each other. So with that being said, I want you to bend into your left leg a lot. Like you're gonna sit back in a small chair, okay? That should honestly, that movement alone should target your glute muscle in your left side automatically. So if you're not there, you're not sitting back low enough. So I would suggest you do that. And then from here, we're gonna have our hips nice and squared. Abs are drawn in, right? And you're gonna go ahead and push out with your right leg and bring it back in again. So we're gonna go ahead and inhale out, exhale it in. Everything is super quiet in this exercise, and what you should be feeling is, yes, you're gonna feel the moving leg, the right leg here, but I want you feeling that left leg, that left butt cheek here a lot, because that is the primary muscle activator, okay? So we're gonna inhale it out. We'll do 2 more. Inhale it, and then exhale it in. Inhale it, and exhale it in. Okay, yes, we probably wanted to stretch that after this one, but we're gonna go from here. That was the 3rd exercise. So the 4th exercise is gonna go ahead, we're gonna go back to our back. So headrest is down flat. I'm not gonna use the pillow in this one because we are gonna go into bridging. And I love bridging, especially someone who is with sciatica. Let's give them some extra help. And what I mean by extra help is extra springs. So we're gonna do 2 mediums, and I'm gonna add on a light spring. So that's 2.5 springs basically. And of course, we don't want the ponytail in the way, so we're gonna take that away because that will also change the way your neck alignment is. So if you have a ponytail, I would recommend like the high ponytail or just take it off. So headrest is down flat always. And then you're gonna go ahead and start with your heels up. I like the heels because it is the easiest positioning that we can do in this exercise, but the goal is to activate and strengthen the whole posterior back chain here. So you're gonna feel your hamstrings, your glutes, and your back muscles working in this exercise, which is exactly what we need to be strengthening. So keeping the carriage super quiet, super closed in, you're just gonna go ahead and start to apply pressure into your heels as you lift your hips all the way up, okay? And we all know our nice bridge here position. You're gonna feel those hamstrings working right away, right? And from here, you're just gonna lower your hips back down. I want you to almost pull that foot bar towards you. Yes, you guys might cramp, but that's the work that we're activating through the back of the legs. Let's try this again. So you're gonna apply pressure, push down into the foot bar. You can even use your arms here to brace yourself and to apply pressure into your triceps, but lift those hips up nice and high. Yes, and I want a parallel position there with your feet. I should have said that earlier, but the knees should not be coming together and they shouldn't be splaying apart. Let's lower that back down again. Beautiful job. Do you guys feel that work? It's nice. Nice in a good way, right? Because we know we're doing something right. Okay, let's try this one more time. So we're bridging ourselves back up again, all the way to the top. And if you have the client that is intermediate enough, let's add extension here. So the hips are up nice and high. Hold that position, straighten the legs out. And then you're gonna go ahead and bend and come back in. And you can go anywhere from 3 repetitions, 5 repetitions, 10 repetitions, whatever is going on with your client's Pilates experience and level. So let's just do 5. So that was 3. Let's pull it back in and remind your glutes to lift up higher. We don't want them sagging down. And that was 4. Good. And one more time, we'll push on out. I love this position too because you can see if your hips are actually in line. And then you're gonna go ahead and lower yourself right back down again. Beautiful job. Those aren't ever easy, but the one thing about them is that it's very productive. Okay, let's do one more exercise here. So the 5th exercise, Again, I wanna focus on the posterior chain. So we're gonna bring in the box and we're gonna go into pulling straps 1. So I'm gonna go down to a red spring, which is a medium spring, okay? And let's see, I'm actually gonna keep my foot bar up. You don't have to, but I'll tell you why in a second. So bringing this box back over. Okay, we're gonna go long ways on the box, just like that. And then again, I want the foot bar up because I want it to remind my legs to stay above the foot bar. And in this case, it's probably reminding your clients to keep their feet above the foot bar. And then just for purpose here, I'm gonna go ahead and come back to the handle, all right, even though I'm not using that. So, okay, let's go on our stomach right here. Chest is slightly off. And now you can see I can't drop my legs because I'm gonna be dragging them across the foot bar. So it really acknowledges and reminds the body to keep them lifted. And I don't want them together, so we're gonna keep them separated, okay? And I'm gonna grab a hold of my ropes right above the metal buckle. From here, arms are long and straight. We're activated, separated legs, and you're gonna start to pull your arms up towards your hips here, okay? And then you're gonna start to lower back down again. So eyesight is down. We're not looking straight ahead. That's a no-no. We're gonna go ahead and keep our eyesight on the floor, keep our neck in line with our spine, and lift it back up. So now you guys automatically should be feeling this activation through your triceps, through your back muscles, and then also through your glutes and hamstrings. Beautiful job. So think about even nice neutral position. I like to teach this in neutral when I'm working with someone with sciatica. So I would keep it that way. That would be my definite recommendation. And then I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and just do one more, pull that in, and then start to slowly lower back down again. Beautiful work. So hang those up. Again, this was just a nice quick tip here on how we can apply 5 different exercises in a full body workout for a client with sciatica. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I will be back next Friday again with another tip on just some easy ways where you guys can navigate through your Pilates journey. So have a good one.